I got two messages for you guys today. The first one's about choices and the second one's about leadership, okay? So 17 years of doing this, 19 if you include the time I was in college, I've learned a lot. And the most important thing that I've learned is that success is up to me. There's nothing that really Andy's going to do about that, nothing Thomas is going to do about it. It's going to be based on what I do every single day. And it comes down to choices, the choices you make. So like, let's give today an example. You guys are going to get out on the trucks here soon, and there's going to be choices that are going to start hitting you almost immediately. How you treat your customer, how you treat your teammate, like how we bid the job, how we load the items, what we decide to buy at the gas station, at Quick Trip. All of those choices, they end up making, what your life becomes. So if you're sitting in this room and you're like, damn, like I'm not where I want to be, or I want to be somewhere else, I want to continue to move forward, understand that you can do that in the blink of an eye. And I've seen it happen so many times. Kansas City is such a special place because so many great leaders have come from here. And some of them are in the back of the room. You see Casey Curran sitting there. There's names on the walls, and that's not even the start of it. Because there's a lot of people who didn't make it all the way to own their own business, but that made a really important mark in this organization. And it all came because they made great choices. They chose to do the right thing, not the easy thing. You know what the easy thing is after a job is done? Not to sweep that shit up and get in the truck and get the fuck out of there and get to the next job. That's easy. The hard thing is taking your time, making sure you are incredibly detailed, explaining everything to the customer, ensuring that they're happy, and then doing our door hangers, shaking hands on the street, and making sure every experience that we create for our people or for our customers is world class. That's hard to do. I get that. I know that. I've been there. I've worked my ass off, got to the end of the job, and wanted to take my ass home. But it's those choices that I made at that moment where I really wanted to not do anything, where I took that extra step and did something that helped me be where I am today. And my ultimate goal, what I want more than anything, is to see you guys get what you want out of life. And I don't know what that is. I won't pretend to know what that is. But I know it's probably more than what you have right now. Is that fair to say? And I can tell you that if you take this serious, every opportunity can lead you someplace great. But it's going to be the choices that you make that's going to help you get there. And you actually know what the right choice is every single time, don't you? And sometimes we have this word that comes in our mind. I'll call it fuck it. Anytime you say fuck it, the next thing that happens after that is normally the wrong thing to do. Okay? So recognize that. That's a trigger in your mind. You're doing something, you're like, oh, fuck it. And you do something else. You're like, oh, that's probably the wrong thing. Don't ever do. Like, try to pause yourself, think through it, pick the right thing, and revert back to doing what's going to lead you to success. Because there is just the thinnest, minuscule line between success and failure. It's so thin. I've seen so many great people come through this organization in just this thin line they've walked on, and they make the wrong decision one time. They feel some kind of way about something they didn't get. I didn't get the Chiefs tickets. Thomas gets everything. Fuck it. I'm doing something else, right? Like, those thin lines are going to create your future, man. I'm telling you. And everything you want can happen today for you. Like today. And all it has to do is you have to make that determination for yourself. And nobody else can do it for you. Like there's things that are going to happen in your life that are going to be unfortunate, and that's just part of it. Like and we don't know what's going to happen. We can't control everything. But how we respond to it, it really, really matters. And it comes back to those choices. Am I going to respond in a way that's negative? I'm not burying myself in alcohol, cigarettes, and some weed, and not wake up and do what I need to do to become who I want to become? Or am I going to meet the adversity head on, because it's happened, it's going to come to us, and I'm going to use it as a learning experience so I can continue to get better? Raise your hand if something bad has happened to you in your life before. Something negative that you didn't like, you didn't want to happen. All your hands should go up. I'll raise 2 because I've had enough for both of you guys, for everybody in here, okay? So here's the deal. We all have a choice when something bad happens. We can think this happened to me, or we can think this happened for me. All right? And right now, I don't pretend to believe that all of you guys in here think about it in a way where you're like, yeah, this is happening for me. I'm going to learn from this. I'm going to get better. I'm going to push forward. Some of us are in a mindset right now in this room where we're thinking things are happening to us, and we have what we call a victim mindset, right? And that's okay. I just want to tell you there's another side of that, and it's called the creator's mindset. All right? So we want to switch from being a victim to a creator, and that's the thin line we talked about. All right? Things are happening for me. I'm going to create what I want because of this thing. If you keep that in the back of your mind, that's a deposit I just made for you guys, and something's going to happen today, tomorrow, next week, next month, and I just pray that that thing, that word, this happened for me, comes up when that happens to you, okay? Because it's going to be for you if you really use it to your benefit. All right, so you guys good on choices? We understand today we're going to have just like 1,000 things to decide. It's going to be anything from the text message we send back to our girlfriend or our mother or our grandmother, like how am I going to respond to this when I'm working hard? You know, I was 23 when I took over a business, and I was under a lot of stress, and how I treated people that are close to me because of my stress. Like, those are choices I wish I could take back, because some things, you know, they stay forever, right? So those choices you make on responding to messages, the choices you make on treating your customers with respect, the choices you make on treating your team members with respect, the choices you make when you are asked to lead and do something, like what you do with that, it all matters. How you sit in a meeting, eye contact you make, your body language, all of that shit matters. Do you believe me? Okay. We'll test it. All right, so next thing I want to tell you about is the most lucrative profession on earth. Who knows what that is? The most lucrative profession on earth, what makes the most money. It's leadership. All right, so in the 1920s, there was this guy named Chuck Schwab, but not Charles Schwab that you see on the buildings today. His name's Chuck, and he was a steel magnate, but he knew nothing about the steel business. And back then, that was the biggest business. Andrew Rockefeller, Carnegie, all of those guys made billions and billions of dollars, or what would be billions of dollars today, in the steel business, okay? Chuck Schwab, however, had never been in that business before, but he was a great leader. And he was the first person they paid $1 million to run a company, all right? And just because how he treated his people, it mattered. And he understood how to move the spirits of the human beings to a place where they would do their best work. Leadership is the most lucrative job on earth, and you guys get to practice it every single day. All right, so I want you to understand that, right? Like, that's a big deal. If you're in a leadership position, which you actually all are in, you get this opportunity to influence people in a really positive and meaningful way. And it's like the biggest gift that you can have on earth is the opportunity to move somebody else forward in their life. So if you all want to make more money, which I guarantee if I ask that question, well, I assume everybody's hand's going to go up, maybe 2 hands. We might stand up for that one. We all want to have more. I get that. The best way to get more is to learn how to lead better. And leadership is a really important part of life because it's how we move forward. Somebody's helped us get to where we are today. We followed somebody at some point to get to where we are today. So who you want to become, who you can become, you want to have more out of life, learn how to be a great leader. You're going to get out in the trucks today. Some of you are going to go home. And when you have the opportunity to lead again, I want you to take it really, really seriously. Sometimes you're getting put with a new hire. Who's been put with a new hire today, in this room? Anybody? Okay. Some of you guys have been put with a new hire, right? That is a really important job. You could either help them grow, become something, do something in this business, or you can discourage them and get them out of here as quick as possible by the way you treat them. And that's leadership. Okay? So I want you guys to understand that leadership is just the most important thing you guys can do, and it's the most important thing you can do to get more out of life. All of the people on that wall back there, there's one thing that ties them all together, and it's all leadership. My mom wanted me to be a doctor, a lawyer, whatever, whatever. Like the normal professions that you look to and you're like, a banker, so, that she could be proud. But, at the end of the day, what you want to be is a leader. And that's the most important thing that you can do on this earth. All right. So, Andy asked me to talk about excellence. And I think when I think about excellence, it really comes back to leadership and choices. Because the choices I make turn me into a great leader. All right. The choices I make create excellence. Do I do this to the best of my ability or do I not? That's what excellence is to me. Like excellence to me is, did I do it to the best of my ability? Not as good as he could do it, but as good as I can do it. Okay? That's what excellence is. So every single day you're going to go out and you're going to be tested. And you're going to have to make the choice to do it to the best of your ability. And you're going to have guys like Jake Waters pulling you to try to do your best. And that's great leadership. You're going to be working beside people, and it's up to you to help them become their best by checking their blind spots, ensuring that they're not giving less than what they can give. And you guys know what that is, right? You've worked along somebody who's done a good job the first job, the second job he does a shitty job, and the third job it even gets worse. You been there? Yeah? That's up to us to make sure that never happens, because we have to challenge them and help them understand that choice isn't going to get them where they want in this world. Like they're going to get in there, want more money, want more opportunity, but then do a bad job on site. Those things don't add up. Good job gets good things. Bad job gets bad things. You guys feel me with that? You guys know what a good job and a bad job is? That's pretty fucking easy. All right? So if you're a leader, it's your opportunity and your duty to ensure that the people who are beside you do a good job every single time. And you want to know how, Tyler and I got to where we are? Because of that. Because everybody who's ever been inside our charge, and, some of you guys have been there for a long time, we make sure you do your best every single time, and not for us, but for you. Sure, it benefits us, but it benefits you way, way more. All right, so that's what I'd ask for you guys. You're super important to this organization. There's leaders in this group. We have a massive mission. And we just are getting started. We just acquired 6 locations in the Northeast and in Virginia, right? And, leaders are who make those businesses good, and we need more of them. I need you guys to step up. I need you guys to learn. I need you guys to do your very best every single day. And if you do that, there's more for you. There's opportunities for you. And it's not fake bullshit opportunities. It's real, tangible stuff. Stuff that makes your mama proud. All right? So take advantage of what's in front of you. It doesn't happen just because you wanted it to. It's the things you do that make it happen. All right? It's going to be the things you do. All right? So that's all I got. I appreciate your time today, and I'm happy to come chat with you guys anytime. And also, my office is in the middle, and it's open anytime you want to come see me. I'd love to see you guys. I feel like the junk team, you guys are consolidated over here. You never go into the other side unless you're trying to get some snacks. And I get that, but I think it's important that you are part of the entire organization because you guys mean a whole hell of a lot to all of us. Okay, so thank you for everything you do. Without you guys, none of this is possible. Like, it's because of you that I'm here right now. It's because of you that this building's here right now. Kansas City is the first, and it's the most important. So keep doing everything that you've done to make us great. Thank you.
Sometimes life can get crazy. Just make sure you got a plan.